Hello everybody, it's Calxiyn here. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember that you guys should join our Discord server or become patrons on our Patreon.
You missed my musical entrance.
If y'all notice, I am talking a bit quieter today. After we do these videos, my voice usually gets shot.
I've been working since 9 in the morning and I'm starting to get
I'm trying to rescue myself, but it's not.
I work hard.
Anyway, so I'm just gonna, it's not that we're not enthusiastic, I'm just gonna try to, like, keep it down and
so
not yell.
Enthusiastic.
Okay, so today we're talking about Jaune Semblance.
Oh,
this is the last one that we need to talk about. Okay, so
do you think this is entirely unnecessary? Raise your hand if you think this is unnecessary.
A bitch-ass comment yesterday. And the bitch-ass comment said, "It doesn't have anything to do with aura, you dumb bitch, it's just straight healing." And so now, we know that I am not the not that I ever thought that I was, or that I ever am, but
you routinely
what I'm saying is that, yeah, who's the dumb bitch now? I mean, that's just life, you know? And so, Jaune explains, basically...
This wasn't a theory video, this is a revenge video.
Yeah, it's basically... I mean, this is like a final explanation. So, we toyed around with the idea that first it was aura transfer. Then we made another video saying that it was aura transfer, or whatever you call it, because basically I didn't really know what to name it, and we explained our ideas in that video that basically, it would do something like this. And so now this is the final video, the final explanation that we finally know what Jaune Semblance is. And so that is that Jaune says that he is basically amplifying Weiss's aura, and because he's doing that, her aura is rapidly healing her. So that is an idea that we suggested back in our other two aura videos that we did about Jaune and the aura transfer, or aura boost, or aura enhancement. A lot of people called it by different names, and I just didn't have a name for it, but the premise to that was basically the same. So yeah, this is a little bit of a revenge video. This is just because, like, a lot of people still, after we made the second aura video, said, bitch, it's just healing.
Oreo video?
Huh, Oreo video. No, like, people were kind of like, oh no, like, it has nothing to do with aura, it's straight healing. And they didn't call me a bitch, but that other guy called me a bitch, and so that's why I'm calling him out. But a couple of people were like, no, Cal, it's probably just aura, you're giving them too much, or it's probably just healing, you're giving them too much credit with the aura thing. But now we know that's exactly what it is, and so I'm just content with myself that I'm right. And so I think that this is the best for his Semblance, because this is basically what he does in Grimm Eclipse, and now Hunter's playing Nora, even though our first video today is about Jaune.
Well, Nora was also the one who was like, you silly goose.
Yeah, true enough. But Jaune, in Grimm Eclipse, basically gives a strength and speed boost, and so we know that aura, like, you can't use Semblance without having aura, and so if Jaune is able to enhance someone's aura, that, in my mind, would lead to a stronger Semblance for a period of time, and also, as well as the healing, you know, all that stuff. And so, obviously, we have some great potential here, but it is kind of something that we have seen in Grimm Eclipse. But Grimm Eclipse is not a canon explanation of anyone's powers, not really. So we didn't really include that when we did the first video on this, but now we have an official confirmation that that is what Jaune believes that he seems to be doing, that he was enhancing Weiss's aura rather than doing any healing per se, because that is Nora's suggestion, is that he's healing, and I feel like that was explicitly pointed out to the audience. Not that, like, I'm like, oh, Miles and Carrie saw my video, they knew people were attacking. Like, no, of course not. They never saw it. It only had 2,000 views. They didn't see it. But I think that that was something that was explicitly put to clear things up among the audience, if that makes sense, because they sort of did this with the Cain is the relic thing, right? And so they shut down any idea that Ozpin's Cain would be the relic by him explicitly stating such. And so this is a sort of other, like, I don't want to say an in-joke, but it's an in-clarification. And so it's very blatant that the writers are saying, listen, here's what it actually is, right? Just like they did with the Cain, like, guys, the Cain is not the relic, right? Because that was more answering fan questions, really, than anything that maybe RWBY wanted to know.
And then it just became, like, a weird episode of, like, weird filler episode of Q&A.
Yeah, basically,
it's just, like, if you had, like, fuck, marry, kill, like,
I know.
Summer Rose, Salem, Raven, which, obviously,
but yeah, in that regard, I think that Jaune Semblance is very useful. I think that we are going to see it in combat. A lot of people disagreed with the idea of it being healing, because it wouldn't be helpful outside of healing, and that's why I originally suggested the aura transfer, the aura booster. the episode that we did on this is literally the aura transfer hashtag. What's this one? This line?
Slash.
The slash whatever you call it. Like that's literally.
That was a hashtag.
That not hashtag. Anyway, that's literally the name of that episode. So obviously we did not.
I also like
know
how you
how
made
to name
like a symbol with your hand, and they never got to see.
I know.
hand.
I was just asking you. I wanted you to clarify.
What if I really screwed them up? What if I was like Amber Stamp, and they were like, "How did she make an Amber Stamp with her hand?"
No, don't say that. Anyway,
Okay.
so I really did enjoy that we got that confirmation from Jaune. I think this is a semblance that does suit him very much. This isn't really about a semblance, but a lot of people said that Jaune should have killed Cinder today, and I live for those comments like that. I live for that salt.
Fuck
like
this.
at least
having to do everything.
I know, like let Raven do something, please. Like let Raven exist. Anyway, Raven did a lot of stuff anyway.
Jaune
and so that's fine.
you know, stay in the kitchen. She can, you know, he can not wear shoes.
What do you mean not wear shoes?
It's basically like the stereotypical like 50s housewife domestic.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't wear shoes all the time.
Well, I mean, then you're also stereotypically
okay.
and you're also pregnant. You know?
Am I?
Fancy
I
that.
didn't know that.
Yeah, can I
Thanks
tell them
for
about
telling me.
something that happened before? Or
Before we
is it too
recorded?
embarrassment?
Anyway, no.
Too embarrassing for you. Okay.
We're just kidding, guys.
I'm not kidding.
We're kidding.
Oh no, we didn't have sex. No, it was something entirely more embarrassing.
Oh, what? What are you talking about? Oh, that my sister printed out her STD project? Is that what you're talking about?
Hilarious. I don't want to anyways, so please continue.
Okay, whatever. Hunter's on like some next level type drug over here.
It's late. I've been working on it.
Anyway, fine. What were we talking about again? Right, so Jaune, yeah. So I feel like, again, this is really good for his character. This is something that I did want to see. Fuck the haters. Y'all are bitch asses. That's become a thing now. If you guys don't know, I'm in the Patreon only Murder Bird server, and I've said that so much it's kind of become one of my more memorable quotes. So thanks for that.
Fuck the haters?
No, bitch ass.
Okay.
Like, now people are like,
where did you
Cal, are you
bitch
gonna call someone a bitch ass now? Like, if we're talking about something.
Mommy! She's calling her bitch ass again!
I don't know where I got that. I think I just made it up and now it's a thing. Like, so if y'all are into that, y'all should start using that and say it was from this YouTuber called Calxiyn, you know? Anyway, so I don't really have anything else to say regarding the Jaune front, but, like, you knew that we were right all along, right? You had no doubt, right, Hunter? Like, you knew it wasn't just gonna be healing.
I was fairly certain about that.
So was I, but apparently other people weren't. Actually, there was one more thing I wanted to mention, that before we were talking about how, Jaune's semblance seemed to be activated in 2 moments where he was being selfless and everything, and so I wonder if that's a condition.
Because they were like, we've seen it before.
Like, so it basically when Cardin is like, hey, it's Ice Pyrrha or whatever, not Ice, Jam her, I guess.
Jam her.
You know what I mean? Like, Jaune says that you can do whatever you want to me, but don't mess with my team, right? And so that's his first kind of selfless act in that volume.
And then he healed someone?
He didn't heal someone, but you see the aura thingy, you see him glow basically, and all that shit. So that's his first sort of selfless act, and we talked about that. And I think that's really meaningful for his character, is that, you know, not to say that he was necessarily selfish up until now, but his incident with Cardin was a selfish move, and he did have, I don't want to say an ego problem, but like a little, like a selfish, self-centered, I should say. He was very focused on himself, and didn't really care about his teammates, but now you kind of see that he's done that 180, and again in another selfless situation where instead of going after Cinder, he instead goes to save Weiss. His aura does activate, and I think that's just really powerful in terms of how the show presents Jaune, because we are gonna do another video this week. Somebody made a really good Tumblr post about Jaune, and that their only problem, well, not their only problem, but that my only problem with Jaune is basically that he seems to suffer no consequences. For
he does kind of skate
what
along.
he does. Yeah, and so Cinder,
he's a little emotional.
Cinder also has this problem, and so I think that's interesting that they were both sort of, maybe not intentionally, but I believe intentionally paralleled in this sort of way. And so that was a really good Tumblr post. I really liked it. I wanted to kind of do a video on that anyway, but now that I see this Tumblr post floating around, I think I'll just read what they said. And we can talk about that again in a separate video. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to say that, like, I really like the progression from sort of a self-centered, annoying Jaune to a very heartfelt Jaune, you know what I mean? What are you doing? Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I hope that you guys will join our Discord server or become patrons over on Patreon, and we will see you later. Bye, guys.